Are the JBL Tour Pro 3 still worth it almost a year later, or has 2025 moved on? 12 months ago, I called these some of the best earbuds of 2024. Since then, I've lived with them. Commutes across Brisbane, long haul flights, sweaty gym sessions, late night edits, and a whole lot of pocket time with a touchscreen and smart case. Today, I'm giving you my verdict almost 1 year later. What held up well, what didn't, and why you should still buy the Tour Pro 3 in 2025. I'm Andy, and if you caught my original Tour Pro 3 review and my Tour Pro 2 versus Tour Pro 3 comparison, you know I was hyped about the sound, the ANC, and this wild smart case. But first impressions are easy. Real life over months is what actually matters. So here's what we're doing. We'll recap what wowed me on day one, then fast forward to now with fresh testing, comfort, and seal on a run at Kangaroo Point. ANC against traffic and wind, call quality in noisy spots, and a gym session for grip and sweat. We stress the smart case, touchscreen, battery, cycling, wireless charging, then revisit spatial sound, LDAC, and then the app. I'll compare the Tour Pro 3 against what's hot right now, including JBL's own ecosystem and the new budget killers we've tested. Then I'll tell you straight up if I still recommend them and under what conditions. And yes guys, there's a giveaway link and all the good stuff in the description. So smash a like if long-term reviews are your thing. And also we're doing this in another channel at the moment, but I've got my Mr. Yoo-Hoo shirt on. So that's where the full review was done and where we do a lot of our videos. So also check that out. Now let's rewind. 12 months ago, the Tour Pro 3 won me over with three big things. First, sound. That classic JBL Pro signature. Punchy bass that slaps, crisp highs, vocals that sit forward, and a 10-band EQ in the app to sculpt it. Second, ANC. Adaptive noise cancelling that generally quieted buses, trains, gyms, and even my apartment fan without wrecking the tuning. Third, the case. A touchscreen command center that you can actually use. Playback, volumes, ANC mode, timer, flasher, message previews, guys, find my earbuds, even USB audio and Auracast integration without taking your phone. Paired with LDAC, Bluetooth 5.3, and solid battery life and transparency that sounded realistic. Guys, these were a very easy recommend. But now, almost a year later, here's how they actually aged. Starting with durability and comfort. The buds still fit like a glove. There they are, just there. The seal is excellent. I could jog the cliffs and they don't shuffle or work their way loose. The finish on my set had held up no flaking, just a few hairline marks. You'll only see under bright light, and you can see there they are. I mean, they look absolutely perfect. The ear tips have been swapped, so as you can see I've got white ones, they were black, because I do like to swap them occasionally. But comfort is still high for 2-hour blocks. And what about the case? Well, it's picked up some micro scratches, I don't know if you guys could see that, from pockets and backpacks, inevitable, but the hinge is still fine, magnets are strong, and the screen still responds quickly after firmware updates. Look at that. Wireless charging still works, USB locks cleanly, and I've dropped the case multiple times, no cracks, just character. And there it is, just there, isn't that cool? Now battery life then versus now. So out of the box, I was getting around a full workday with ANC off and 7 hours per charge with ANC on. 11 months in, I'm seeing about a 5 to 10% haircut. That's totally normal for buds that have lived on charge cycles. Real world today, roughly about 6 to 6.5 hours with ANC and 9 to 10 with it off. And the case still gives me multiple top-ups. Quick charge remains a lifesaver. I used it just before this video. 10 minutes for hours of playback when you're running at the door. And if you hammer LDAC at high volume, expect that classic drain. But not the codec, but that's the codec, not the buds. How about noise cancelling a year later? Well, still excellent for this class. Fresh test with traffic and wind at Kangaroo Point, lunchtime crowd near South Bank, and a blast of gym music on the rollers, the Tour Pro 3 still clamped down on steady rumbles and HVAC type noise beautifully. And they've kept that calm, kind of pumpy character that made them feel premium. Voices and clatter came down to a dull murmur. You still hear sharp, unpredictable sounds. Guys, that's physics. But compared with Tour Pro 2 and the most mid-price challenges we've seen, the 3s remains ahead. Transparency mode is still natural enough that'll cross the street with confidence and hold a conversation without yanking a bud out. No extra hissy business cropped up with age. The only thing I suggest is sometimes if I've connected another device and bring these back on, it is slightly difficult to reconnect the earbuds, which is slight pain, but doesn't matter too much. How about calls? Well guys, still a strength. The 6 mic system does a great job keeping your voice intelligible outdoors. Wind is great. When I'm using them, people can't hear the wind in the background. And even in gusts, people can still hear me fine. And that's also with gym music as well. Working out with the gym music playing, people can't hear me. It sounds like I'm on my phone, which is great. And how about sound quality? Well, has the shine worn off? Guys, honestly, no. If anything, I appreciate the tuning more now than ever. I stress tested a stack of 2025 earbuds. Out of the box, the Tour Pro 3 are lively and fun. Bass has weight, but doesn't swamp the mids. Treble has sparkle without splash, and imaging feels wider than you expect for sealed-in ears. Now guys, if you switch on LDAC for high res and their scale, you get more air around the vocals, a lot better texture in the bass guitars, and cymbals that shimmer instead of fizz. Now, spatial sound was also something I really enjoyed. Now, spatial sound, you press it on there and it sounds like you're immersed in a concert. I called it out my first review because it felt fantastic. And it's still my take, I still love using them. For movies, live recordings, and when you want to feel at the center of sound, it's absolutely perfect. And the 10-band EQ in the app remains powerful. If you're a bass boost person, you can still get frankly silly. If you prefer neutral though, guys, it will still behave. Now let's talk smart case, because 1 year reality. This was a headline feature and it's not a throwaway. I know some companies are trying to replicate at the moment, but these got it perfectly. I still use the screen to toggle ANC, change tracks, glance at notifications, start a timer, or ping a missing bud. Firmware updates as well over the year have made the UI snappier and improved reliability, syncing settings between case and the app. Wireless charging is still great, and USB-C audio and Auracast options remain sleeper features. Plug into an airplane screen or on a treadmill to get your audio into the buds is genius, guys. And broadcasting to multiple JBL devices has been handy for shared watching. Guys, this is the case that made smart cases make sense, if that makes sense. Connectivity and stability, rock solid. Multipoint hands-off are predictable as long as you pause one device before resuming the other. So how about multipoint and app stability? Well guys, it's rock solid. Multipoint hands-off are predictable as long as you pause one device before resuming the other. The JBL headphones app hasn't crashed on me in months. Switching ANC modes, changing gestures, spatial modes, or EQ is fast. If you're deep in JBL's ecosystem, the Tour Pro 3, Charge 6.7, Flip 6.7 party box, the experience is cohesive. Now in Queensland, reality tests. Again, comfort. How's it on a humid run? Tick. Grip with sweat in the gym? Tick. Pocketability? Well, look at that, straight into my pocket. The case is still slightly chunky in your pocket, but it's fine in shorts, and I wore it shopping yesterday. Commuter proof? Absolutely fine. And flights? With the case acting as a mini remote and the ANC doing heavy lifting, that's been my go-to. Okay, so 2025 context. Are the Tour Pro 3 still competitive versus this year's releases? Short answer, yes. There are budget upstarts above their price on paper with LDAC and big ANC claims. We tested a bunch of them. They're fun, but the Tour Pro 3's polish still wins most days. More refined, ANC, better mics, deeper apps, and smarter case and steady tuning. If you want absolute best in class with ANC, Sony and Bose are still there as well, but the JBLs get you all the way there with a more playful sound and the case convenience. So if you're still deciding, inside JBL's world, the Tour Pro 3 remains the sweet spot. Premium audio, adaptive features that actually work, and that ecosystem, oh God, goodness. So who should buy them almost 1 year later? If you want lively, customizable sound with genuinely strong ANC, and if you like the idea of a touchscreen case you actually use, you want a pair that will survive sweat, commutes, and flights, these are still an easy recommend. If you already own the Tour Pro 2 and you're happy, you didn't have to rush last year, but the 3's refinements, better ANC, lighter, smoother case, add up. If you're coming from mid-tier buds, the Tour Pro 3 still feels like a big step up. And if you find them on sale, guys, it's an absolute no-brainer. And you're still with me at this point. Do me a favor, tap like so this reaches more people, and also join our JBL giveaways. We're giving away JBL headphones, a Tour Pro 1M3, and a JBL Flip 7 as well. So very excited to be doing that. And if you're under Tour Pro 3s, how has the battery held up? Do you actually use the spatial audio and the case, or did the novel wear off? And what would you want to see in a Tour Pro 4 if it actually comes out? Would you like more head tracking spatial, different wind handling? Drop your thoughts below. and I'll read every comment. So I've got the original review as well as our Tour Pro 2 versus Tour Pro 3 comparison, and if you want to see how they come. So I'm Andy, and thanks for hanging out for almost a 1 year later check-in. Type tool still slaps in the comments, so I know you made it to the end. And make sure you do the giveaway, like and subscribe to the video, and thanks for joining us here at the channel.